Well, I got a really nice board. Well, I think it is. I don't know. We're gonna go ahead and cut it anyways. But I like boards like this. I kind of wish I would have saved this and like rescue it before it got too many stains in it. But I'm gonna see what the planer does to it. Maybe the planer will take the stains out. It can go down a little bit thinner. I can take probably another 1/4 inch or so off of it. So that's not gonna be bad. But this board, I want to make one of these or a couple of these out of. So I can actually make a couple, and these. One here, maybe one up here, so at least 2 of them. These are cutting boards. You can use a cutting board, cheese boards. Some people use them cheese boards. Makes them pretty nice. This one here is about 17. I think I cut it down. I've been cutting them down to 17 and a half, and then you can make it as wide as you want. Or the reason why I cut them 17 and a half is because I was putting them in these envelopes so I can ship them. It'll be a lot cheaper to put them in these and ship them. A little bubble on envelopes than it is to buy a box. Because most time you buy boxes, they want you to buy like, 10, maybe 20 boxes at a time. And even though the box might be $2.60 or something like that, that's a lot of boxes. So in order to ship one thing somewhere, so I cut them down to make them fit. And I do have them bigger because I sell them bigger like that. So, step back over here. These are different kinds. This is out of walnut here. One here is out of a real pretty hickory wood. And then I also have them in cherry. I try to stay with a tight grain wood. So kind of look that up and make sure you use a decent wood. So, But you can make them different shapes like this. Now, you don't always have to have the live edge here. Everybody does. These are just because I have a sawmill and I get to cut the lumber myself. So, but if I didn't have it, which I have made those before, and without the live edge on them, and basically what they kind of look something like, well, not this piece, but look like this here. You can cut them on more of an angle if you want, or sand them more an angle, kind of give them like a live edge, kind of look if you wanted to. I put a hole here in the top, and it makes them so you can also hang them up, But like I said, you can make them different. That's made out of walnut. This is walnut too. These are a couple. Some of the bigger ones I still have left. I don't think I have any big ones like this left. You can do them this way, and you can hang them on the wall. Now this is painted, so I'm not going to be able to use it as a cheese board because I got paint on it, and of course you don't want to eat that. So it's good for decoration. You know what I'm saying? You can put like kitchen saying, like women like kitchen saying on it. This kitchen belongs to whatever. She's the boss. There's a lot of different things. And this one here was just kind of messed up a little bit. The paint was, so I went ahead and just kept it myself. Let's see. We have one here. I have one here that normally this is what I do with them. What I do is I cut them out, and then I just let them dry. This is still rough, and it's not ready yet. I'm going to end up running it planer. Normally when I get wood that needs dried out, it's got to set for a while, and see what it's going to do. If it's going to bow, it's got a little crown in it right here on the edge, so it's been setting for a good while. Now, I'll use a mineral oil, just a plain mineral oil. I mean, most of us grow it up with. And I'll put it on the board first. You know what I'm saying? I won't kind of soak the board down with it, and then with a rag. And then after that, I have right here. This is just mineral oil with beeswax. Now, beeswax is a little pricey if you want to buy it. I mean, if you're doing something like this, it's probably not. If you're only doing 1 or 2, you probably would just want to go to town and buy them. You can get them at Lowe's. I think it's called Butcher Block Conditioner, or something like that. Butcher Block or Cutting Board Conditioner. But like I said, I have the wax, so I just use my own natural wax and mineral oil in it. So it's pretty natural, and makes it. Now there's a recipe to do that too, so not just meld everything together. You know what I mean. So that's our plans today. Is go ahead and cut one of these. I have to run it through the planer because I really want to see what it's going to look like first before I spend too much time on that board, because I'm worried about that stain in that board. off to the side. But they are normally, like I said, I make them about, about I think 17 an inch, about 17 inches long or something, so they can fit in these envelopes. To ship them, because that gets too pricey on that other stuff. They'll have to pay. So, okay, I got to take this board and instead of plane the whole thing, I am going to go over and cut it off. Cut it. I'm going to lay this up here. Cut a piece off, and then we'll run it through a planer. Now, I made it a little bit bigger. Of course, your planer always has a little tendency to kind of drop on the end, so I went ahead and made it marked it so it'll be a little bit bigger. So when I run it through the planer, I can eliminate that and cut that drop off. Well, this one here has a little split right here on the end. I could probably pen that to keep that from moving, but I don't think I'm going to have to. I think it's going to give it a little bit more character, so I'm going to see what it does when I run the planer through it. What that is, that's a beautiful piece of wild cherry. So that's what this here looks like. And then we're going to make a board out of that one. We're going to pull it off to this one, and we're going to make another one out of that. I love the side grain on these ones, this one here. And then we'll get it all straightened up. I have to get the top cut off here, and the back doesn't matter. So what I'm going to use one of the other ones. I have a pattern here somewhere. A template, like I had it here, but it's hard to say what I did with it. So I'll just use one of these other ones. I like the wide for the bottom of the board, but I have a crack down here, but I don't think that's really going to make a lot of difference. I feel like it is. I fill that in. It's not cracked all the way through, so I really like it the way it is. It's kind of wide on the bottom. See how it's like a lot wider on the bottom than what it is on the top, of course. But I can also turn it around, but then I got my handle there, so let's just do it this way. Pencil. And we're just going to set it here, because because I know it's going to have to be recut. And just eye up, because you know your board's not actually square on both ends, so you're going to end up doing a little bit different on this. And then just finish up the edges here a little bit. That's all I have. I don't know if you can see, I don't know how that got drawn out. And then we'll take it over to the saw over here and go ahead and cut this part here out. Okay, what I have in here is a 1/4 inch Timberwolf blade. I got one of the videos I show you that I do by the Timberwolf. This doesn't have to be perfect, because I'm going to run it through a sander. Okay, there you go. It's not pretty nice, not bad. I'm going to run it on the sander over here and see what it's going to look like. Okay, I'll go ahead and sand it over here on the sander. Good, that wasn't too bad. Alright, let's take it back over here. Okay, well this piece really didn't come out too bad. I mean, anything I don't have, I have to finish cutting across here, so I have to kind of mark it and then take it back on the other side. Cut. So what I need to do now is, I mean, this one right here, so square. I'm going to try it with a square and see what it's going to do. And I just got to kind of guess that, so I'm going to go across the collar of it and then get a measurement here. I'm just going to take off maybe 1/4. Well, no, I got to take off more than that. Let me see what that measurement was. 17. I need 17 and a half. Is what I need. 17 and a half right here in the center. Can. So we're going to go 10 1/4. Okay. Back a minute. Okay, there you go. Didn't too bad. It's a nice board. Get the router out here in a second. I got one favorite bit I kind of use all the time. Just continuous. But, I don't know. It seems like it works okay with pretty much all the projects I do. You'll find a favorite bit when you do routering. I'm for sure when you router things. You'll find a bit you like. Okay, let me put this, let me try it over here first. Okay. We do like the way that came out. I hope it's going to work out. Now I got to put a cut here. I'm going to drill my hole in the middle, then I'll run the router on that. I think I'm going to run. Let's run the router on both sides. That's right. On this side. I don't think I normally do. Let me go ahead and get the right bit for this. Let's see, what did I? My orange bit. I put one in here. Now you know when you do the center holes, just just cut them, put them in there. Don't you don't have to be perfect about it. A little bit. If it comes off, if it's off a little bit on the one side, gives it character. Everything doesn't have to be, perfect. So here we go. Let's try this. There you go. That's a nice hole. We'll go ahead and finish the board up here. I'm going to router this right here. You always get a mess, that's for sure. Pretty good bit here. I kind of like that one. Now, what I normally do is just take a router and cut the cord. And then take this and sand it down with a palm sander. And like I said, I used about 220 grit on it to get it smooth. Now, if it's rough, you can probably use something a little bit bigger, maybe 100 grit or something like that, until you get it down to where you want it to be. And then after it's down there, starting to get smoothed out, then just run it to 120 grit. I think you can go 320 if you want to go 320 later, if that's what you got. So now you get 120. Just a palm sander, that's all it takes. I will sand all the spots out. And I have somewhere here. My stuff's pretty much everywhere. Oh, here's one here. And what I'll do is I'll take a bottle like this, and then get this going, and then there's some water in it. Put some water, just plain water, and just kind of soak the board down like this here. Okay, you want to let this dry. You don't want to try to sand it like this. But I'm gonna get that water on the table. Get the wet table off now. Just kind of soak it down, and then go somewhere and just kind of hang it up. I mean, wherever you want to hang it up, and just kind of let it dry. And then come back once it dries, and then you can run the sandpaper over it again, because what it's going to do is it's going to pull the grain up. You'll feel the little, if you run your hand over it after you sand it, you'll feel the little piece of the wood that actually comes up, and then you'll sand that back off. That way, whenever you, if you finish this before that, and you don't do this in this process, and if it doesn't, if you don't do it in this process, I'm telling you, then whenever you go to wash it, to clean it off, don't put this under water, but when you're washing it after you get done using it, the grain will come back up. You'll feel the roughness of the board. So by doing this process, you're going to keep yourself, save yourself a little bit of time. And then, like I said, go back over and sand it with 220 grit paper, and then you will put your sealer on it. Your mineral oil or butcher block conditioner, or whatever you want to buy. If you want to buy it, instead of just make it. I've actually done probably about 10 of these. Normally what I do is about 10 of them at a time, and then I cut them all out and everything, and then these will all be hanging for a day dry. And then come back down and go ahead and finish them up, and then go ahead and sell them. You can let them set for a little bit if you like, and then see what they're going to turn out, but just keep it, get it nice and wet. Ain't going to hurt it. I mean, if you're working on it now, it's better to take care of the problem with it than it is to wait for it to completely finish the job, and then all of a sudden you have to come back and do it again. So okay, that's about it for these cutting boards. Really nice to have. Great for friends and family, people that you like to give them out to. They're real easy and simple to make. You don't have to have power tools. I mean, you can have just regular hand tools, circular saws and stuff like that. You don't need table saws and all that stuff to make these. Don't need them at all. So if you like it, if you like the video, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.